Another silly season domino has fallen as it has been announced that Sammy Smith will return to Junior Motorsports in 2025 with the iconic number 8 font on the car. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel and welcome back to our video. As I just said a second ago, we got some pretty massive and major breaking news as it has been announced that Sammy Smith will return to Junior Motorsports in 2025 and will once again drive the number 8 car for Junior Motorsports in 2025. The big news to come out from this is the fact he is going to have the iconic number 8 font for the 2025 year. The iconic font that has won races with Dale Jr., of course, the 2001 race at Daytona, and many of the other iconic races. We've also seen the iconic number 8 return in some way or form earlier this year with the Budweiser sponsorship that was run on the late model that Dale Jr. ran. Sammy Smith is back for a second season in this car for the 2025 year. Sammy Smith in 2024 kind of had a little bit of an underwhelming season. He did pick up a win at Talladega Super Speedway, but only got 8 top 5s, but he did, to be fair, had 17 or 18 top 10s throughout the 2024 season. Now, going into 2025 for Sammy Smith, my expectations are going to be a little bit perturbed for him for 2025 because he is going to have a lot of pressure going into this season. He is going to have some really strong teammates with him in 2025. Beginning with Justin Allgaier. Justin Allgaier, of course, won the championship last year in 2024 coming into the season as the defending champion, but also he did end up picking up 2 victories throughout the year and, like I said, went on to win the championship. But he's also going to have 2 really strong rookies throughout the 2025 year. Beginning with Connor Zilisch. Connor Zilisch is coming in as one of the favorites, not just to win the Rookie of the Year for 2025, but also he's looking to win a championship. And I think that Connor Zilisch has a really good chance to win the championship, and I think he also could win quite a few races as well. And then you have Carson Quaffle, the other big-name rookie. Carson Quaffle, obviously one of the big-name hotshot rookies out there, some who I think is going to be really strong on the short tracks, and I think also, like Connor Zilisch, will have a really great chance and a strong opportunity to win the Rookie of the Year honors as well, as he was very impressive last year, got multiple top 5 finishes, and got a couple top 10s throughout the year as well, and could have won a few races in 2024. And then you have Sammy Smith in the number 8 car. Now, I am super happy they're bringing the iconic font back for him in 2025. I think that iconic font looks absolutely incredible, and I think they did an absolutely amazing and really, really great job on bringing that iconic font back. My only big issue I have with Sammy Smith being behind the wheels, I think he is definitely the weakest link of this number 8 car. I got to be real and honest. He's probably the weak link of this organization. Like I mentioned, you got the defending champion of Justin Allgaier, and then, of course, you have the 2 young rookies who I really think are going to impress. Sammy Smith is one of those drivers, in my opinion, that really needs to step it up in 2025. Number 1, he needs to be making sure he's definitely in the playoffs, where he's not fighting for a playoff spot. Last year in 2024 was kind of a disappointing year for Sammy Smith. Going into that year, I expect him to be a lot more consistent than he was, and Sammy Smith really was not that consistent driver that I think a lot of us are really, really looking at. So he definitely needs to be a lot more consistent throughout 2025. The other big thing for me is that he needs to win a couple races. He needs to win at least for sure a race, but I think a couple wins will go a long way for Sammy Smith. The big reason, though, why Sammy Smith is obviously back at Junior Motorsports is because of sponsorship and funding. Now, yesterday in the Snowball Derby for Junior Motorsports, he did actually run very well, finish inside the top 10, so he did show he has potential. And I think Sammy Smith is a talented race car driver, and keep in mind, he is only 20 years old, so he definitely has a lot of time to develop into a pretty good race car driver. But I think he needs to be a contender. He needs to be very close to his teammates next season. Because I think, like I said, he is for sure the weakest link of this organization in 2025. I think he needs to make the playoffs without question. He can't rely on making it on points. I think a win needs to happen. And I think the round of 8 absolutely has to be the goal. I'm not saying he needs to go and make the championship by any stretch of the imagination, but I think he needs to have a really solid year with the team in 2025. Otherwise, he could lose his seat, even though he does bring sponsorship and funding to the table. We've seen it at times where, 1, contracts can be broken, but number 2, you can lose your ride if you struggle quite a bit. So Sammy Smith is definitely going to have a really solid and good year. Otherwise, his future could definitely be in question. And he's going to have a lot of guys he's going to have to go up against. There's a lot of really good rookies this upcoming season. Christian Eckes, who's joining College Racing in number 16. You've got Nick Sanchez, who, of course, is driving the number 48 for Big Machine Racing. He's going to be a really strong rookie next season. You've obviously got other big-name rookies like Daniel Dye joining up next year. Well, I don't know if he's going to be a guy that's competing for the playoffs this upcoming year. I think Daniel Dye is going to have a shot. You've also got William Sawalch and Taylor Gray, two drivers who have a lot of potential, in my opinion. You, of course, got Brandon Jones, who's going back over to Joe Gibbs Racing, who I think has a really good chance to make the playoffs this upcoming season. You then, of course, got the other big names, like in the Ford camp with Sheldon Creed and Sam Mayer. One of them being a former Junior Motorsports driver, who I think will be really strong with the Haas factory team. Same thing with Sheldon Creed, who showed a lot of potential. You then got some other names who could be making some starts next year, basically like an Eric Almirola if he decides to come back. Potentially Chandler Smith, who does have a ride for 2025, but not confirmed at this time, though it sounds like it's going to be with RCR. And then, of course, you do have the other big names in the field, like, of course, in your Chevy camp. You've got people like Austin Hill and Jesse Love, who are going to be really strong on the super speedways. You're probably going to have some Cup guys coming down at some point. Probably Ty Gibbs for a few races. You're going to see Martin Truex Jr. make a few starts. The Hendrick car is probably going to be coming back next year with Kyle Larson, probably Chase Elliott, probably Alex Bowman, William Byron, and maybe even Corey Day as well, who could make his NASCAR Cup debut. You've also got Harrison Burton, who's joining AM Racing. Overall, I think you've got a lot of really good talent in this series in 2025, and I think the field is going to be super, super competitive throughout the upcoming season. There are still a few rides that haven't been announced officially at this time for 2025. Sam Hunt Racing hasn't confirmed what they're doing yet at the moment, though I have heard that Dean Thompson is probably potentially going to get that C. There's also obviously teams like JR Motorsports that have to announce their plans. SS Greenlight Racing hasn't confirmed their plans, so I do think they'll be announcing that here in the not-so-distant future. And I think a lot of teams will be confirming their final plans for 2025 as we close out the remainder of the silly season. It's interesting they're bringing the iconic font back for Sammy Smith, of all people. The big question is, are they going to run a fifth part-time car? If they do, I would have to think it's going to be the number 9 they're going to use. And I would have to think maybe some of the Hendrick drivers get behind a wheel. Maybe we'll see Roger Groove drive that car at some point. Maybe we'll see Connor Hall make his debut. Connor Hall is joining the Junior Motorsports late model program, so we'll see if he gets a chance and opportunity. But it's interesting they're bringing Sammy Smith back for 2025. So that is going to be today's special breaking news episode on Sammy Smith. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Let's go to below that and comment your thoughts below on today's episode. What are your expectations for Sammy Smith in the 2025 year? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Tomorrow on the channel, we are going to have a NASCAR news video discussing news over the course of the last couple days. And if there's any major news that does break throughout the next couple days, we'll discuss it here live on the channel as we get closer to the remainder of 2024. We've got content on people like Shane Van Gisbergen and Hailie Deegan coming soon. We've got other content dropping, of course, on the Cup lineup dropping soon. We've got Zane Smith news probably coming here soon. Same with Chandler Smith, Eric Almirola, probably other people here coming up like a Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch, you name it, Carl Edwards, Kurt Busch, all those people we'll be probably talking about on the channel in the coming days and weeks as well. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.